Welcome to A Global Indy. I'm Jane Gelhausen, Director of International and Cultural Affairs for the City of Indianapolis. Mayor Ballard is passionate about making Indy a welcoming and inclusive city that is recognized worldwide. This Global Indy segment is designed to highlight Indy's international initiatives. Today, we have a special segment as we have Mayor Ballard in the studio. It's a special privilege to have the opportunity to hear directly from the mayor on his international vision for Indianapolis. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Jane. Appreciate it.
So today, Indy is an international city across many sectors: business, arts, sports, and culture. How do you feel about our city being so international in so many aspects in our community, and why is this important for the future of our city?
I'm glad that it is developing the way that it is. I think it takes the effort of a lot of good people, including yourself, to make all of this happen, but also we have to be seen a certain way into the future. I'm a big believer in a global economy and in an international culture that will recognize those places, those cities that are more international in scope, that are more global in their outlook. And I'm always afraid that if we don't go in that direction, that we will be one of those cities that are left out. I think if we move in that direction, we will be one of the cities that are seen as a truly global city, a place to do business, a place where people want to live, work, and raise their family, and all that means. And so I'm very passionate about this because I'm looking into the future and what kind of city do we need to be, and we need to make sure that it's a very international looking city.
Great. I 100% agree. Your life and career in the military has been very global. Tell me a little bit about where you've lived abroad and how this has impacted your vision for Indy to be as an international city.
Yeah, it really has impacted the way I see things, not much question about that. I was in Okinawa in Japan a couple times early in my career. I obviously lived in Stuttgart, Germany for the last 3 years of my career. I've visited places like Panama and the Middle East in different settings. I wouldn't say I was living there necessarily, but I was there doing other things. And so, and you look at all of that, and I'm very candid about all this, that too many times we have to send people like me, the Marines or the Army or whatever, to go do what has to be done. Whereas if we had more understanding, more talk amongst people internationally and understood each other a little bit better, maybe there would be less of that. I'm not suggesting we could always do away with that here in the near future, but I am suggesting that a little less of that could be occurring if we understood each other a little bit more. We have that dialogue that continues, and that's why I'm passionate about the Sister City program, because we needed to have dialogue with some of the bigger emerging economies in the world, and now we do.
Since you were first elected mayor in 2008, you said from day one that you want Indianapolis to be a welcoming and inclusive community in which to live, work, and raise a family. So why is this so important to you?
Well, for one, my wife. All right, I married a lady from the Philippines, and we've been married 31 years now. And I sometimes I see firsthand exactly how she is treated by different people, and sometimes it's very, very nice. Other times maybe not so nice, right? And so I think as a city, we need to be welcoming across the board. I want people of all persuasions, of all colors, to be able to come into our city and feel comfortable. I really think that speaks well of who we are. We are generally a compassionate and caring community. I say that all the time. But also we need to make sure that we absorb all these different cultures into our city. And it goes both ways, to be frank with you. I want us to be able to absorb all these cultures, but I want all these cultures to come out also. I want the Indian community and the Chinese community and the Burmese community and so many other different communities to come out and be seen. And I don't want them to stay off by themselves. I want them to come downtown. I want them to attend the sporting events. I want them to attend the cultural events. I want to see all of them all together. And so I think we have to look at that from both sides.
Great. So welcoming and inclusive. And what are some of the other city's key international initiatives?
Well, there's a lot going on. One is the Brookings Institute, which looks at our export strategy, which I think is very, very special to us. We were one of the cities that were chosen for that, I think primarily because we are looking overseas. We are looking to bring people together. The sister cities has been very important to us. We doubled the number of sister cities, and now we have what is considered the best sister cities program in the nation for large cities. Coming from where we were 7 years ago to having that designation is absolutely huge. I wanted to create more festivals to celebrate some of the different cultures. India Day, obviously, is a big day to celebrating the Indian Independence Day. Chinese Festival is always a great event. The Sister Cities Fest, where we put all of the pieces together, has been tremendous. We're trying to do more on the World Sports Park and try to get a lot of those people to come out and again play their sports from their communities back home in Indianapolis. I think it all kind of works together. We want to make sure that we continue all that.
Great. So what would you say how you would like to envision Indianapolis in 10 to 20 years from now?
Well, I want to be seen as a global city, not much question about that. We have a lot of things going on, like in the international marketplace in the northwest side of town, which I think is tremendous. A lot of great ethnic restaurants kind of concentrated a little bit into an area. Again, the sports always brings people together. I think that's very important. I think the export strategy, businesses need to see that also. They need to embrace that, and I think they are embracing that. I think we just have to, on all the different disciplines, make sure that we are seen globally and that we look out in that way, that we reach out ourselves, because it was very clear to me early on that cities like Indianapolis in the Midwest, not New York or LA necessarily, if you're Indianapolis, if you're Kansas City or you're Memphis, you have to go out and tell your story. And we have a great story to tell. We have a great story to tell. So I want people around the world to understand what we are trying to do here in the city and bring them here into our great city.
Great. Well, thank you for being in the studio with us today. There are indeed many wonderful international aspects of our city, and I just want to thank you for your vision and your leadership, really, to help elevate Indianapolis to be more visible as an international city, both here and abroad.
Well, thank you, Jane. I appreciate everything you've been doing. It's been terrific.
Okay. Well, appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So thank you for joining us for this segment of Global Indy. Indy's global diversity touches all aspects of life. We engage with the world through business, arts, sports, international students, our food, festivals, and more. To learn about how you can be part of Indy's global community, sign up for our newsletter at indy.gov, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.